because I'm going to share it now.
Are you streaming it to our website?
I can do that. So I'm streaming it right now. It's streaming to Facebook and YouTube. And now I'm going to send it to. And Thomas will be joining us as soon as he figures out where the link is.
You're not on the radio.
Oh, I got to get on the radio. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got to go microphone on. WWTHC radio. And we're also on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. And we're also on WTHC radio.com. Well, we will be in about 5 seconds when I link it. I haven't done the link yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. There's too many steps. But while we wait for Thomas, it kind of works out, you know? And it's funny because I did not have my world's perfect day today. It was a beautiful day and I wanted to. But I kept tripping up on my own stuff and I knew it was my own stuff. But I did. So until Thomas gets here and I can work through all of it, and we have all this going. This just gives us all a second. Hold on.
I put an affirmation song up there for you.
You did? You put a new so the hippie put up a new affirmation song. Oh, the one I like.
The two that you have your own little category for it.
Oh, I see. The affirmation song by Snoop Dogg, and then the affirmations by Gray Ziegler. Yes, they're so good. All right, so here's where I'm live, and then sorry if I good. Oh, sorry. Copy. I just had to copy that. Now I'm done. All right, sorry about that, StreamYard people, um, or Facebook people, or everybody who's listening. Oh, Thomas, I see him. All right, Thomas found us.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, give me 2 seconds for the camera and I'll be right there. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm figuring out how to stream it on the website at the same time. So I said,
oh, that's
this is-
awesome.
yes, this is a little slow start, but it's only because we're going to stream it in so many places and have so much fun with a lot of
At the same
people.
time, yeah.
That's it. That's the
Okay.
goal. We want to make sure everybody who needs to can access this content. My websites. Come on.
Yep, give me 2 seconds. I'm coming.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And I'm also doing a little bit of like catching up on my dinner because I didn't have time for anything today.
Yeah, I'm throwing like a chicken nugget in my face.
I keep saying time is abundant, but I have not mastered it yet, and that's okay. I know I will.
Very abundant. Yes, we have lots of time.
I know. I gotta just keep remembering. Actually, to be honest with you, everything did work out. You know, like that's the thing, is everything fell together. It fell together tight. Didn't give me a lot of breathing room, but it did all work out. And I guess that's what matters. Here we go. I'm able to do it. Paste that link. And done. And it's showing it. And I'm going to publish, save and publish. We are in about 2 seconds. We'll be also on WTHC-radio.com. So we'll be streaming in a whole nother place. Our website, WTHC, I mean, you know, the Perfect Positivity, we have a Facebook page, but we're part of the WTHC team. And our website's been having a huge amount of hits lately. And I don't know if it's like all my new merch that I made and put up there, or if it's it's just us throwing some stuff up. It's a small operation, and I'm so thankful to everybody who goes there.
Yeah, it's literally mom and pop. Literally.
All right, I still see you, but no picture.
Oh, I know. I'm coming.
That's all right. That's all right. And then we'll invite we have a guest. Oh, look, we already have some stuff. Pixie Mom says hi. And Kate Pasta, what's up? From Ganji Lovers, what's up? Thanks, Ganji Lovers. So we have messaged a million times, and you, I know you message with the hippie a lot, but when we first started, I was like, honey, you need to check out this Ganji lovers page. Every single time I like one of his things, he like writes nice things about me. He's a great person. And oh, and then you ended up getting tied into his Facebook stuff too, right?
Yeah, I got into something. Yeah, he's sweet.
He's
Not-
the nicest. And hubby says there's actually more than one person that kind of runs that page, but they're fantastic. Rockabilly's here. Hi. And I see Lady Shay. And there's Pixie Mom again. Ashley Ireland. Oh, from Busch Gardens, Tampa. That's a fun time. Awesome. Hi, Steve and Matthew and Rockabilly Moore. So we have a lot of people like coming in today. That's awesome. And Hippie is kind of hovering in and out. He's popping in. So we have a little, maybe he'll join in at some point for some positivity and some fun. Oh, you know what? I didn't do the banners.
Oh.
I forgot to put up some banners.
Yeah, those sponsors, they're really going to enjoy that.
I know the sponsor likes it when I put the banner up. So last week we had such a nice time with Dot Davies, and that was awesome. And the whole week I got a lot of good feedback from people about it. What's up, Hippie? What's wrong?
A hip, a hop, hippity hop.
Yeah. What's wrong, then?
I said, I guess it was their
Oh. So I think I think one of the little hippies is having some love trouble. So we're hearing some residual yelling in the other room. And you know what? Sometimes that happens. I'm a big fan of getting all those feelings out. What? I know. And getting all those feelings out and just exploring them and then resolving it and moving to the next thing. Like, I'm a fan of that. I'd rather fight it out than hold it in and not talk about it, and then it just turns into more.
It's true.
There's going to be times you don't get along, and that's okay still. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's something wrong with it if it turns into a toxic battle, blah, 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 blah. But, like, sometimes you might snap at somebody, like, that's human, and we can only do our best to kind of say, oh, I didn't mean to snap at you. I was stressing out because of this other thing, and I snapped. That's okay. And as long as everybody's receptive and open, it's probably great. It's a great thing. Then you can make up, and that's always fun. I think. It can be. So, tell me about your day. I know you had a wonderful day today, and I did not get to talk to you at all. So tell me what you did.
It was wonderful. Today was absolutely wonderful. So I was with one of our very common guests, Katie Agresta. I was with her all day today.
Okay.
And our friends from Pennsylvania actually came into New York. We did this wonderful late lunch.
Thomas, do you hear that noise?
No, what's that?
It's on your end.
Uh-oh.
It is. It sounds like an air conditioner almost. Like it's like when you talk, you hear. Shh. Is it the air conditioner? Oh, that's funny. That noise.
Better?
No, I can still hear it.
No, I turned it off.
Then it's not an air conditioner.
Then it wasn't the air conditioner. I can go out, come back in.
I was just gonna say, why don't you try to go out and come back in? I tell him to do that, and then I stick food in my mouth. So that's very professional. This is a professional radio show on a real radio station. The only part about that is that it's actually on a real radio station, and we are live throughout the whole world on WTHC. You know what? I'm going to use this opportunity. It's a little bit early. I'm going to throw in a quick commercial so that when he comes back, we can be done with one of the commercials. We don't have to take another break. So I'm cheating time a little bit, but hold on.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute.
Turn it down a little.
Your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready.
All right. So for those of you who are watching on
honey,
Facebook, YouTube,
why
or on
don't you take a minute?
WTHC-radio.com,
When you help
we
care
have to
for a
do these
loved one,
commercials for the
you give them
radio
as
show.
much time as you can.
So we
Making
run them,
sure
but
they're
we can
safe
talk
and
over them. It's a good time to
But
ask a
it's just as
question.
important that you take
Hi,
some time for
Nee.
yourself. At AARP, We can help with information and
Michael.
useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life
Oh,
balance.
nice.
care
Cleveland,
for your own physical and
Ohio.
mental well-being,
I was
and manage the
not
challenges of
born in
caring for a
Ohio,
loved
but
one.
I was
Because the
created
better
in
care you
Ohio.
take
If
of
you ask my
yourself, the
parents,
better
they'll tell
care
you a
you can provide
lovely
for your loved
story
Thanks, Dad.
that I don't like to
Thank
hear,
you.
but they
You're
share
there
it.
for them.
I said, let's
We're
just do the
here for
commercials
you.
early so it's
Find
done.
free care guides to support you and your loved
know?
one at
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I
good.
can't tell if the noise is
AARP.org
there though because the
/caregiving.
commercial's so
A
darn
public
loud.
service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad
So-
Council.
Talk now, quick.
Sorry, I'm forwarding out the show.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing
Let's
too, and
hear
then that
what
got
everyone
sidetracked.
did this weekend. Jill?
I gotta
Well,
forward it
I
out a few
raised
more
my older
places.
sister
Yep,
to a
yep.
big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream
Oh,
and
it's
perched
so
up on
exciting
this
that we're able to do
huge
so much.
rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark.
Now
And
it
the
is
Big
streaming
Dipper
on the
let us
Perfect
over his
Positivity
hole.
page. It was only streaming on
Where were you,
WTHC.
Jill? Yeah. We went to the
You know what?
forest.
That's kind of
It's not
fun.
that far away.
At
Anyone want to come?
some point, when we get it all together, people are gonna be like, "Who are those
Ask
people
your
who have it
parents to take you and
together?"
your
Ooh,
friends
yeah.
this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Oh, babies. Yo.
All right, WTHC, we are back. We're back. We had our commercial break. We paid our sponsors, and now we're gonna start talking again about what you did on your beautiful day today and what happened this week and all that kind of stuff. I see your cat's on you, enjoying this as well. We're very professional, as I
Yeah.
already stated.
Like, he's home. Yeah, she's my assistant. So
Yes.
she's my
And that
person.
sound is gone. You're totally fine. It was just a
Yeah, it
weird
was
sign
probably
in.
indeed. So yeah, no, and it was with Katie all day, and friends of ours came in from Pennsylvania, and her sister was there, who I love, and did dinner. We got our hair cut, and it was a wonderful afternoon. It was beautiful out today.
It was
everything-
so beautiful.
Yeah, we it's just funny how everything worked out. We were going to go to a restaurant, and then we were like, nah, maybe not. And then we were going to do this, we were going to do that, and everything just kind of formulated the right way. But everyone was just using, I hate to be cliched, but positive thinking just to get the day off the ground. And everyone showed up right exactly when everyone was like supposed to. Everyone just kind of fell into
Sure.
when and where.
Isn't it nice when you meet up with a group of friends, especially people you haven't been around in a little while, and
Yeah,
everybody's in a good mood, so you have a great time
yeah,
because everyone's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm so excited to be here with my friends," and that vibration just raises,
Yeah.
So even if like the waitress does get an order wrong, everybody's like, "Ah, it's okay. We're laughing, have a good time." I love that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows it demonstrates the law. It and who doesn't like catching up with old friends?
You know.
But then isn't it funny those times when you're like, I really don't want to go to this, and I don't have the money to go to this. Like you start to do that kind of thing, and then you'll end up having a miserable time because you've set that premise for the activity.
Right.
It's kind of amazing. Hello, Monzap. How are you? I see we have somebody. And Jade was created in Wisconsin, so she heard my story about being created in Ohio earlier. Our parents share too much with us, and that's fine, I guess. We're adults. But sometimes I'm like, please don't tell that story anymore. But my family did live in Ohio. That's what we were saying before the chaos of commercial and everything. So so you got to spend some good time with good friends, and that's great.
Yeah.
Oh!
Made it just in time.
Now I do see that our guest Barbara is here. Should I add her? Do we want to keep going with what we're doing and add her in a minute?
So yeah, let's add her in a minute because then we'll set her up. We'll set her up as to why she's visiting us because it's
Okay.
actually important as to why she's visiting us. Now, can she hear
can
us?
see us.
Hear
She
us?
can see us,
Okay, good.
and she just waved to me, and she can hear us.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But
So-
we can't hear her.
So, the reason, we've been mentioning a lot of times why we do this show, and the reason
Right.
why we do show is because we want to touch as many people as possible. Obviously, not inappropriately, because that would be inappropriate. But we want to get the message.
touching like that.
I know. So, because we want to.
Yes.
We're not associated with any religion. We're not associated with any doctrine. We're not associated with.
And we're open-minded. Like we want to learn about a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff like that, and we were just finding on our path. If I don't,
Right.
if I just jump in,
Right. And
that
Michelle.
the more people we spoke to,
Right.
yeah,
And we literally started this. We literally had the idea for this show. It was like on a Thursday, and then our first show was 4 days later on a Sunday, and then we went live.
Yes.
We didn't really know. We didn't really. All we wanted to.
we did not know what the show was really going to be about. We were
We had
almost Seinfeld.
no idea.
A show about nothing.
about we just wanted to have this positivity, this positive
Yes.
vibe, good vibe show where
We
people
did have that
come
theme.
and learn that you can get through your issues, you can get through your
Yes.
troubles, you can. There are ways to do it. There are ways to focus on more positive things. This
And I
is what-
think I was really inspired because you would help me so much as I was going through a really rough patch in my life. And I knew about positivity, but I was in such a quagmire. I could
Giggity.
not I could not see I felt like I was underwater literally,
Yeah.
and I couldn't see the light out. And you kept just saying, "Come on, keep trying. Think about this. Here's a video I like." And I wanted to share my story, not to like rehash it, but share that you can get out.
Right.
And I wanted to share you, for lack of a better way to put it. I had this platform. This is my husband's radio station. I'm with the in crowd. And I wanted to share you with people because I felt like I knew, well, I'm sure I could have done it one way or the other, but it was so much easier for me to take this path back to positivity with support from a good friend who got what I was going for. And when I started to shake for one reason or another, I had an anxiety attack, whatever, you were like, "Hey, it's okay. Remember this part. Remember this. Hey, did you read that thing I sent you?" And like you sent me books and you sent me stuff. And God, they helped. They helped me so tremendously because I don't want to use suicidal in a
No, you
I
weren't.
was
No, you
but
weren't.
I was not in a good place.
Good.
I did not
Yeah.
know what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
And you were just like, "Michelle, it's not ours to know. Just think of the positive thing that could happen after."
Right.
And I did that. I did all those things. And so I wanted to share you and
No, thank you.
share these conversations because you and I would have these conversations and I'm like, we should be telling other
For
people this
hours.
stuff.
Yeah, for hours. Yeah. And right. You're exactly right. And
Yeah.
the entire conversation about doing the show was why couldn't we have this chat like we normally do on the air?
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're both like, yeah. So we didn't really know how we were going to share it. The first night, we really didn't know how to share it out. We kind of knew what we were doing. We didn't really know what we were doing. Nobody had any idea who was listening, who wasn't listening. We kind of lost track of who we wanted to share it out to. Long story short, we got so many messages from so many sources and so many locations. "Hey, I heard you guys on the radio. Hey, I heard you guys on the radio." Because we're also on Live 365. We're also on TuneIn. We're obviously on WTHC. So we're Facebook, we're YouTube. We're trying to get into not trying, but we are on all these different platforms. And it was difficult to figure out where we were and did it work? All right. Well, I shared it. I don't know if it's working, but
Right.
shared
Right.
it. And
I just
we
shared
don't
it
know
much more
who's
while you were
hearing,
saying that.
but we're doing it. Yeah. And we're
Yeah.
doing it.
And it was so nice that first night. We had a bunch of people that were commenting and watching. We were like, and
Yeah,
everybody was on the
because
same page.
Yeah, because we didn't know. We didn't know. So, having said all that, one of my dearest friends in the world, Barbara, she I love her. I love her to pieces. She reached out several days later because the homework after the first night was to take the word "but" out of your vocabulary and insert the word "and." So when we say, "I want a better job, but I really don't want to blah, 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 blah," it's putting up resistance. The word "but" puts up resistance. So
Right.
that was our homework.
Right.
Now, we didn't know we didn't know, like I said, we didn't know who was listening. We didn't know who got the message. We
Can
didn't
I
know.
add Barb now? Because we talked about her enough.
So yeah, so then I get a call from her several days later. Oh my God, I heard the show, and I was listening, and the whole week at work, and I took the word "butt" out, and I can't believe how
I didn't want to talk about you behind your back. I needed to add you. I was feeling guilty. Even though I knew you were there, I was like, no, we got to add her.
I said to her, I was like, would you mind coming on? Would you please come on to let our listeners know, like, hey,
Right.
you are the reason that we're doing this show. So please, everyone, give a nice warm welcome to my friend Barbara, who is a wonderful soul, who is a fabulous human being,
Yes.
live in Pennsylvania. And welcome, Barbara.
One of the things that Thomas and I have talked about you behind your back, Barb, and one of the things that we like about you is that you're a very, very natural law of attraction person. You have this positive attitude, a little spunk about you. You live it, but you are not a studier. Like me and him are like studying it. Like, how do we get more positive? How do we keep our mind straight? And you do it in a natural way. Like you're just like, it just comes.
Yeah, it flows very. So
I live off of the earth, the vibes from other people. I don't study positivity. I don't practice positivity. I live it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
At the best capability that I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that there is no certain way to reach positivity other than the way that you feel comfortable with.
I love that. And I love that. And my mom is messaging that she can't see it, so I have to attend to that because she's my mom. But I love that. But the reason why I think you have it so well, you just have a great way. But I agree with you. You don't need to do it one way or the other way. And so we want to have people on that do it and teach it and learn it, teach it, all different ways. But just so that people can get the pieces that work the best for it. Oh, good. My mom figured it out. She's there. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
The best, so people can find the best way to it. And if that works for them, great. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything about numerology. I enjoy when other people tell me about it, but I don't know anything about it. It's not something I study. It's not something I'm like, oh, I need my numbers for the day. I don't know my horoscope for the day. I don't know when Mercury is in retrograde. I do enjoy it when someone says, oh, it's in retrograde. Good, thank God, because there had to be a reason. But at the same time, go ahead, Barb.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
That you have experiences and learning it. Tom has given me tools that I am capable of looking onto and getting that grasp, and I'm starting to learn that. And it's just kind of like, at first I wasn't receptive to it, but I'm a little bit more receptive to it now, where I want to do that. Because positivity is all about experiencing things. And whether you get it naturally, whether you get it through education, whether you get it through doing yoga, whether you get it through whatever, it doesn't matter how you get it. What matters is the experience. And that's what it's all about, is the experience. You're traveling through your life and through your chapters of life. And each time that you go through a different chapter, it's going to be a different learning experience. So you can't put how to learn positivity. You can only experience it and then learn from everybody who gives you knowledge that you know and what they've experienced. It's a growth, and that's what is all about. It's
the process.
Yeah, and some people, I have to say, some people they don't ever mature that way. But I think for a lot of us, it's wonderful when you see a very young person who's already there. You know what I mean? And they're already really positive, and they're young, and they're like, that's amazing. I sit there, I just go, they have an old soul or something going on there. But in general, it's like you're not ready for it. You're learning all these lessons when you're young, and ego's running the roost and pulling you in this direction and that direction. And I think it's almost like necessary to like learn the things you need to learn to get to this point, where I can say, hey, no sweat off my back. If that person needs to go past me, I
Yeah.
used to freak out if someone passed me on the highway. I hated it. And now I'm like, he obviously has someplace to go that's more
Right.
important than where I have to go. You know, I'm going to take a breath. Big deal.
Yeah.
He wants to drive fast, that's on him, you know, or on her or whatever. You know,
I
just
know,
take the breath and like I said
like-
about the restaurant before, you know? If somebody
Well, I
messes
have-
up the order,
it's-
big deal.
I'm going through these things with my granddaughter, right? I'm sorry, I'm outside and there's bugs in front of me, so you're gonna see my hand whip up and down. But my granddaughter, she is and really good meats and really meats, but it's her outlook that she can achieve because she's actually going for the gold. She's 10 years old. She's looking to make the Olympics, and
Wow.
she inspires me every single day.
She's
Because
good. I've
This
seen
child,
videos.
she's competing with girls that are 13 through 15 years old, and she's only 10 years old. And her first meet, she fell off the beam 9 times, but did not
Wow.
stop and continued and finished her routine. And she just had not her past meet, she just had yesterday. She fell off. She didn't fall off the bars, but she didn't complete her task and her stunt that she had to do, but 4 times. And she continued to go on. And that is just like, that to me, it's like she's 10 years old and she has that pot. Like,
Do you
to
ever
me,
wonder
she's
about
going
people like
someplace.
that, like people who are doing it so young, like your granddaughter, and when you hear about other people who are just driven, like they're I do think that maybe they have their spirits, their souls have already gone to that other level. They've already transitioned to that positivity place because they have the focus, like they know what they want. They can visualize it. They're like, yeah, no, this is what I want. When I was a kid, I was really good at sports. At certain sports. And when I was a kid, I was like hyper
Yeah,
focused
but
to some degree. I never got myself to that. I'm going to be the best at it. I always felt a little bit insecure about it. And all of a sudden, I just couldn't do it anymore. It overwhelmed me. I was like, I can't deal with this because I didn't allow myself to get I didn't allow myself to have the self-esteem to visualize myself there.
Hmm.
You're breaking up a
I'm
lot,
having
Barb.
a little hard time hearing you, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, maybe back inside. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
it's a beautiful backdrop
Can you guys
outside.
hear me?
I know. No, you're really, really broken, my
Yeah.
friend.
See if you can go inside. Maybe the Wi-Fi is probably
No,
better inside.
Sorry, I live up in the mountains. All right, let's see. Let me go back in.
All right.
Hey,
Can you guys hear
technical
me better?
difficulties are just a normal thing, no big deal. Like I said, we've evolved to a point where we can laugh at it and smile and just say, "Hey, there's some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We'll talk about something else while we
Yeah.
wait."
Barb, are you on the Wi-Fi or your cellular data?
When it's better?
Yeah. Are you on the Wi-Fi or cellular?
Nope. I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Okay. That's weird. They usually have good Wi-Fi.
How about now?
How about now? Let's see.
I can hear you guys much better now.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're better
it's
now.
much-
So.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
much better. Yeah.
You have a
you're much-
little delay, but nothing.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Good. Okay.
puppies jumping in front of me, but
Okay.
Here's
So
my-
yeah. So
so
oh, hi
So,
Kokomo.
so right now, while we have a lot of new hellos, and Joe came on, and oh, Steve, I hate that you feel like you're lonely. We're here. You can definitely talk to us while you're here. My mom chimed in again. Sorry, gang. I realized that most of the women I sing with, remember, she's in that very competitive chorus group. In my chorus, I have a very positive attitude. I wonder if that's why we sing in the group and we trust each other so much. And I think that's a really good connection of what we're talking about. I absolutely do think so. when you have a group of people that have that visualizing that same goal, it's going to make it that much easier to get there.
I wanna touch.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to touch on Steve said, and I quote, "I feel like I am lonely." I really want to touch on that. I'm drawn to that right now.
Okay.
I don't really know what reason, but I'm drawn to that. What do we say? What do we say when it comes to law of attraction? When it comes to the universe, you have to go with inspired action. And that one, I mean, there's multiple comments. That one comment really stands out.
Sure.
So this, I think, is really good. It's a really good lesson for people to hear. Loneliness is actually a wonderful thing. Now, hear me out. Why is it a wonderful thing? Because something that we perceive as negative is actually fabulous for us. Now, why is that? Because it shows us contrast. It
What we don't
shows us
want. Yeah.
contrast. Now, how do we know? And I'm getting to the point with Steve. So how do we know that we like iced tea more than we like hot tea unless we've had hot tea? How do we know that we like our coffee a little sweeter unless we've had a little bit more bland coffee? It's the contrast we need in order to tell us where it is we want to go. So when I see that someone says, "I feel lonely," that's good contrast, because every time you identify a problem, and Barbara and I have actually spoken about this, which is really funny that's coming up. Barbara and I have actually spoken about this, which I'm glad that she's here, because we've said, when you acknowledge that something is quote unquote wrong, when you acknowledge that something is wrong, by noticing and giving thought to what's wrong, you automatically know what you want right.
Yes.
Right.
So when I see that someone feels lonely, the other way, the flip side to that thinking is, I prefer to be around more people. I prefer to have more intimate relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to
Really what
change the
saying
vibe of how you're saying that.
Yeah, that's really what that's saying. Is instead of focusing on the loneliness, you've already identified the solution, and it's the solution that's going to get you to where you want to go. That's the solution that's going to get anybody to where they want to go. You've identified that you want more friends. You've identified you want more companionship. You've identified you may want a pet. You've identified you may want a mate. You've identified you may want a lover. You've identified you may want a different job. You've identified you want a bowling team, a hockey team, a swimming team, a whatever team. You've
So Steve, I see that you wrote some follow-up, and I don't understand what it means. So if you could clarify it, great. Because we are here to support you. And like I said, when I was struggling with stuff, I would call Thomas and say, "Hey, I don't know how to deal with this," and he'd say, "Well, let's look at it this way." The contrast conversation came up a lot of times.
Yeah.
Guys, can I talk to Steve?
Oh, yeah. Is that your Adam?
Steve, yes. Yeah.
Steve, listen. Your first identification is that you have brought yourself out and said you were lonely. And that is the biggest commitment to going to one step further, to start furthering your positivity, your life, to find that goal of not being lonely. And that is your first step to admitting that you're lonely.
Yeah, so it's an okay thing, you don't want to dwell on it and keep saying it over and over again. Now you want to say, "I prefer to be around people. I'm going to find myself a place where there are more people to hang with."
Right.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, Steve, hang in there.
Yeah. And let me just tell you, everybody on this screen right now has felt lonely before.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because then
which is
we
good.
knew that we didn't love that feeling, or sometimes I do like that feeling a little bit. I have a house full of people, so every now and then I'm kind of like, I'd like to feel lonely for an hour.
Right.
But I'm not making a joke at your expense. I am, but
Yeah, we poke, but yeah, we poke. But
I know legitimately I have felt lonely many, many times,
Right.
and that and I just knew I wanted to look for something else other than that feeling, you know? Hi, so we have more. Cindy, very cool people
Adam-
here tonight.
Yeah, Adam said hello. Hi, Adam. But Steve, you wrote we can't understand what you wrote in that that.
The second message.
Yeah, the second message. Just do us a favor. Just rewrite that, and then we'll address it. But yes, Barbara, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Barbara and I have actually addressed that because Barbara and I have actually had conversations exactly about the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why we needed Barbara on tonight of all night.
Yeah, and
Of
so
all night.
this is a good time to shout out. We were gonna have Susan on tonight.
Yes. Big
And
shout out
Susan,
to Susan.
I know, and she's not feeling well, and she was just this positive energy. I can't wait until we get to talk to her in the future. She's an educator, she's inspiring to people, and I hope that we get to have a really good conversation with her. But unfortunately tonight, she was not able to come, and Barb was already scheduled to come at some point, so we were all excited about that. And now we're like, oh, we kind of needed Barb. Which I'm so glad she's here today.
Yeah. It's a good energy. Yeah.
We needed that extra vibe to raise the room, a little. And I did see somebody write that before. There's a great vibe tonight. I think it was my friend Veronica. She said that it was a great vibe or something. It's a beautiful vibe. I take that.
Thank you.
Oh, and I see they're sending love to Susan in the chat over here, and I see my friend Jade is listening. A lot of great people tonight.
Hi, Jade.
Yeah. So,
what's our email address? I want to put out. What's our email address?
I think it's the perfect positivity show at gmail.com.
It's
yes.
not. Yes, it's the perfect positivity show.
Perfect positivity
all one
show.
word. Yes. So
one word.
Please email us. Yes, please
you
email us.
Email us. If you're on Facebook and you message the Facebook, Thomas and I both have access to that that mailbox. So if you have something you want to talk about, something that you think you need to talk about, all those things. Oh, Tie-Dye wrote something. Blue peace hand, purple peace hand. Maybe those are emojis that didn't come up and it wrote it out for me because I'm like, that's what that is. He's putting emojis up, but it's writing it out for us.
Steve.
Steve, I get it.
My mom said that can't do anything. Well, maybe for your mom. Sure. However, hi, Beth. Maybe for your mom, but if that's the way she feels, but that doesn't govern how you perform. It all starts with this. It all starts with, like I said, contrast. So when you're focusing on when you identify loneliness, you already know that you want more companionship. You already know that you want more friendship. It's very easy to identify the positive side to the coin of anything you're looking at. So we were discussing loneliness. So all it takes is just one little shift to say, all right, I'd rather focus on the more positive side. I'd rather focus on the more positive side of the situation than the more negative side. And all it takes is 51% momentum to start the train in the opposite direction, to start the train in the more positive direction.
All right, I'm going to tell my old story. I know I told it week 1, but it is, I think, the best story about this. I had been feeling crummy. I decided I was going to change my thinking. I had never done this before. I had never practiced law of attraction. I had read The Secret, but I was just feeling terrible about things. And I got up in the morning and my cat peed on the stove. I always tell that story because the cat, how in the world did the cat pee on the stove? And I walked out in the kitchen. The cat's on the stove peeing on my stove where I cook my food.
Actively peeing, yeah.
And I was like, what? I just read The Secret book and this is what I'm getting? And I looked around and I took a breath and I went, oh, the cat came for the story. Yes. It wasn't you, but.
She was like, what happened? What?
I would never pee on the stove. See, I'm a good cat. So I took a breath.
I'm good. Are you guys talking about me?
No, we're not, sweetie. So I took a breath and I said, at least I have no mice in the house. At least I have no mice.
Right.
And I cleaned up the cat pee, which I turned out to find out was a sign of urinary tract infection. Got the little vet pills for my cat. My cat was better.
Yeah.
There was no more pee on my stove. There's still no mice in my home. Well, sometimes I live in the country, but not usually. They don't last long. And because I got the cat.
Yeah.
And I decided to look at it a different way. I could have cried and say, "Oh, why is me? Why me?" I could have yelled at the cat. I could have hit the cat. I would never hit a cat, but I'm just saying, like, there's so many
There's
ways that
so
could have went
many other
negative,
could have went
and
about it.
instead I was just like, "No, I'm gonna focus on the fact that there's no mice. I'm not gonna sit there and focus on the bad thing. I'm gonna focus on the no mice and keep going." Yes. Oh, Allie, we caught it in time. The cat is okay. I promise. We did, and I wouldn't have known. That's true. It was kind of a gift that she peed
Hey,
like
Cindy.
randomly in a random place because it made me go, "What's wrong with my cat?" And then find out that I bring her to the vet saying, "What's wrong with my cat?" And then get her she's still alive. This by the way happened probably 13 years ago, and this cat's probably 16 at this point. So and healthy as could be. So this was on the path to health, okay? So, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you gotta look out for the kitties.
Yep. Yep.
So, we
Watch
have a
for
great
me.
crew of people over here commenting. I'm loving it. We have
Yeah, the comments are
active
blowing
feed.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So,
is great. So now's a good time. So all right. So there's a lot of people commenting. So yes. So we are live 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every single Sunday.
Yeah.
You can find us on the Perfect Positivity Show Facebook page. You can find us Perfect Positivity Show, the YouTube channel, weed-radio.com.
Oh, WTH. Well, actually,
Sorry,
truth
sorry.
is,
The-
it's okay because
Yeah.
weed-radio.com still works.
Still works.
However, we rebranded ourselves as
Yes.
WTHC because we're the best part of the weed
Right.
as the non-partaking part of the crew and staff here at the radio station. But whatever, I still have
Yeah.
some pride in the WTHC. So
Right.
WTHC radio.com is our website, and we are streaming there. We're also streaming on WTHC's YouTube channel.
Yes.
You can also watch this because I upload this after onto the Perfect Positivity Show's YouTube channel. So there's so many options of where you can watch it, how you can watch it, how you can listen to it. You could just listen to it. You could tell the Alexa girl to play us on WTHC on Live 365 on TuneIn, and
Yep.
you can listen to us on your person.
Phone,
I'd like to say her
iPad,
name.
computer, TV. Yes.
Yeah. So there are so many options. Yeah, you can watch us on your TV using YouTube app. I do that all the time now.
YouTube, Facebook. Yeah.
So there's unlimited ways.
There's unlimited ways that we're doing this. Yes.
Yes,
I'm shocked
yeah.
that we even figured this all out in a month. Yeah. Shocked.
Yeah, and we are still new, so hopefully we'll improve every time you see us, and you'll like
Yeah,
us a little bit
bear
more.
with
That's one of the
us.
goals.
Yeah. Bear with us.
Yes, please.
Please share it out. Yeah. Please share it out because we like we said, we started this show just to give people a place to come together to discuss what's beneficial in their lives. How do people get from one place to another? What people focus on? Why does what I focus on bring this about? Why does what I focus on bring that about? Why can't I get ahead? Why did I break up? Why am I breaking up? Why am I getting divorced? Why don't I have the great job? Why don't I have all
It
of these
doesn't mean these things might not happen. These things
Happen.
might happen no matter what. But
Right.
then it's
However, there's a way to handle them. There's a way to literally just slightly shift your thinking.
Oh, Adam, very
Just
sweet.
Why? What do you say? Just
He's
wait.
feeling more positive already.
See.
Yes, we did do our first commercials, and we are due for second commercials. Thank you, Tie-Dye Tea. We will be doing them. Are you guys ready? Why don't we do that real quick, and then we'll set up for the next one. So those of you on all the other platforms, you'll still get to hear the behind the scenes with us now. But for those of you listening on the radio, you're going to have to hear commercials so we can pay the bills and
we
keep
gotta
the
do
radio
commercials.
going.
We got to do
Yes,
commercials.
gotta. Wait, if I can figure out how. There we go. Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has
Okay.
certified
Medical grade water ionizers
Oh.
that make 7 types of
Ooh.
I
water,
know this
including
commercial.
healthy alkaline.
I know this sponsor.
5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years.
Simply
So
attach to your faucet.
the
or
rest
spool
of
under
you,
your sink.
any comments you make,
Even
we're,
get a
we'll,
mineral
we're
spa
happy to
unit.
We'll
address
address.
and keep
Yes,
going.
we'll address it. Please.
Water.org to get a
Please.
And if
free
you guys
ebook.
know somebody who
Plus,
would be great for us
pay
to
for
have on the
any
show,
machine
we're
in
very
full and get
open.
an extra
Send the
filter
information
free.
to Lady Shay
Change your
too.
water
We can
and
she'll
change your
set it up for you.
Yeah. Shout them out.
Water.org. Yeah, she's a great helper for us. I got to play the other commercial too, bud.
Mhm.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, why don't
Hi,
you take
Jeff.
a minute?
Hi, Liz. Hi, Lady. Hi,
When you
Denise.
help care for a
Cindy.
loved
Allie.
one, you give them as much time as you
You're
can, making sure
Hi,
they're safe.
Monica. Hi,
comfortable.
Dixie.
But
Hi, Jake.
it's just as important that you take some time for
Hi, other
yourself.
Cindy.
At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on
All right,
you
try
can
again. I can hear you better now.
life balance, care for your own physical and mental
I think.
well-being, and manage
No.
the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because
No.
the
Barbara,
better
you guys
care you
just in
take
two different parts of the house?
you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for
Thank
you.
you.
Find free care guides to support you and your loved
All
one
right.
at AARP.org.
This is almost over, I think.
All right.
Oh, no, it's not. We're only halfway.
AARP.org.
This commercial's so
Public
long.
service announcement
But I'm
brought
so
to you by
thankful to them for
AARP
sponsoring
and
our
the
For
station.
sponsoring us. Yes.
Yes. I am very happy they sponsor us.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I
And
raised my
he
older
did
sister
key up
to a
the,
big oak tree.
The
It was at
affirmation
least
songs, so
100
we can
years
take a
old.
break and listen
My
to
mom said I
affirmations
must
if
have
we
set a
want.
record
You
or
want to come in
something.
from the
And
commercials,
then
we
we
could do
went down
that.
by a stream and perched up on this
Yeah, absolutely.
huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below
All right,
us.
so let's.
And then
We
I
didn't.
rescued
We
my
never
little
did that
brother from an
before, so that's an
evil
interesting
slug
way to play
king
this
who
up a
Yeah,
was
little bit.
guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah, we went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone
The
want to come this
forest.
weekend?
Go into nature.
Ask your parents to take you
Watch
and your
out for
friends
the wolf.
this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out
That is not positive
discovertheforest.org.
thinking.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This song is called Affirmation
Mhm.
by Gray Ziegler. I'm in love with it.
I control my thoughts and anxiety. My body's nervous as she should be, and I radiate love fluently. I am worthy of greater things. I'm an angel, just look at these wings. I am ready to receive. I see the light 'cause it shine on me. Shine on me. Everything's energy, it flows through me. I got what I need 'cause I'm worthy. If it doesn't serve me, it gets released. 'Cause everything's energy, it flows through me. Flows through me. Flows through me. Flows through me. I could be invincible and be my own hand to hold. I don't do what I am told. I live free 'cause God made me bold. I don't get old, no, I just
Right? Are you in love with it? I'm in love with it.
Yeah, no, it's a good song.
Oh, Barb just disappeared. Maybe she's gonna try to get back in.
Uh-oh.
Here I go. She was freezing up again.
Yeah.
Everything is energy, it flows.
Which I'm surprised they have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe too many people are on it.
Yeah, there's two of them in the house that are both listening to the show at the same time. But that shouldn't. Hi, Marie.
Hold on, I'm trying to turn this down so it goes down. I have a vision. I'm like a real DJ, knows how to use the equipment. I'm not yet. I will be, though. I will be. I swear. It is a great song, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We also had a Native American flute. You got to work on it.
I would have let it end at that point, personally. Yeah, let it play. It vibes us up. It vibes us up. Hi, Maria. Or Marie. Hi, Marie. All right, WTHC, and that was Affirmations by Gray Ziegler, a song that I just found myself about a week ago, and I'm kind of in love with. I keep listening to it. It's my get me ready and get me excited, and I love that she says everything is energy and it flows through me. Like I'm like, yes. So when I see something good happening, I try and like get it in, absorb it all. While we were on our break, Barb disappeared, but we knew she
Yeah,
was
we're
having some
gonna try to
technical
get it back.
difficulties.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sending
we're
her a
hoping she
text.
comes back. Yeah,
Sending her a text.
absolutely.
Adam, if
And
you're go to the part of the
yeah,
house where she is and go get her back. There's
yeah,
like
I
three
hope
people in one house that are all listening at the same time.
that's so funny. That's funny. Well, I mean, that's my house too. I mean, Hippie was in here with me. I thought he was going to stay in here. I can see he's actively listening. He's commenting,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's in the other room. My house is tiny. At least at their house, it's a bigger home. So, so we're just doing the positive vibe stuff today.
Yeah.
The lack of agenda we had. We just wanted to flow with it today.
That's it.
And
Yeah. We never script this show. We never ever script this show. We have ideas that we flow with, but we
yes,
never write out segments. We never write out. We just kind of go with comments. We go with things that we've heard through the day. We go with our own experiences, and we
yeah.
use what's called inspired action.
Mhm.
And use which means inspire. All right. So what's inspired action? Because we did get an
Yeah,
email.
why don't you go into that?
Yeah, that said what's inspired action. I forget who sent it, but it's not
Gives me
relevant.
time to eat anyway. What's
So
inspired action? Go.
inspired action. Yeah, that's the email that we got. Inspired action was when you feel that gut instinct to do something. That's the universe. That's source. That's energy. That's God. That's whatever your God is. That's whatever your faith is. That's whatever your religion. Guiding you to do something because it's like, hey, you've been asking for something. You've been asking for something specific. Go do this right now because this is going to lead you to a better place.
And
That's
I think we hear about it a lot with business people that
Mhm.
their intuition, they go with their gut. You always hear that, but that was an old cop line and all the old TV shows. I go with my gut. I feel this one, but there is some truth in that. Of course, facts first, but yeah, go with your gut. You go. I have a feeling I need to just go do this, and you go do it, and it works out really well. And you're like, now if I had planned that, I couldn't have made that happen if I planned it in a million years. But that day, I just went with my gut, and it all came together.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because then when you're forcing the issue, that's really known as what's called like efforting, when you're putting a lot of effort into something and you're
I am very guilty of this. I start to think
do
it
it all
out
the
and go
time.
over it
Yep.
and go over it, and I'm like, I want to go with my first instinct, but sometimes I also don't want to be too impulsive. I want to make sure that I do my due diligence and I learn what I need to learn, because in my life, I've been a very impulsive person at times in a good way. But there have been times it didn't work out because I didn't read the fine print kind of thing. So, you have to find that balance. There is a balance.
Yeah.
But if everything in you is like going, this feels good, this feels right. Try it. Jump into
Try
it. Do it. Yeah.
Just see where it goes. What's the worst? See where it goes. See what happens.
See where it goes. Yeah.
That's it.
And so that's the gist of what we're talking about with that inspired action. I said, we have the tools. My husband is never on the radio on Sunday nights. Why don't we just do it? And you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Do
And
it.
I already feel like we're building this great community. We've been getting messages. We're getting a
There's
lot of great
people,
feedback.
yeah.
And so the reason we had Barb on, I think we got around the story of,
She's trying to come.
is that Barb said she utilized one of our strategies and it really worked for her. And she sent us that feedback. And we were like,
Yeah. Oh my God.
there's someone who,
Yeah.
we didn't kind of expect it. We didn't even know she was listening.
Right. I had
She's a
no
friend of
idea.
ours, but she hadn't indicated, she didn't write a message saying she was listening at the time.
Right. I had no idea. And we're
Yeah.
very close to her. And I
Oh,
had no-
she's back. I see her.
Okay, good. And I didn't know that she had listened to the show. And a week
We were talking
later,
about you.
the Saturday, it was the Friday or Saturday before the next show. And she was like, oh my God. I took the word but out of my vocabulary. My work week was great. I tried to use the word and as much as possible. She's like, I had the best week. And I went, this is why, but thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And then that's why we wanted you on, because if you're having this kind of week, so Michelle and I said, you are symbolic of like being in a classroom where if one person has a question or if one person has an experience, chances are there's somebody else or many other people with the same question or the same experiences. And I wanted the audience to know, hey, you're not alone. There are people out there that are having the same experiences as you. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on. It was such a great,
You know what I was thinking about? What are those books that they use? I don't even know if kids use them anymore. When we were young, you would have a big book and then they would have Cliff Notes. That's
Cliff
what I was
Notes.
looking for. I almost want this show to be the Cliff Notes
Mm-hmm.
to all the, like, I want us to do the research. I mean, listen, I want other people to do the research and bring it to us too. But I want us to share the Cliff Notes so that someone doesn't have to do 6 hours of reading on a subject or listening.
Right.
But if they tune in on a Sunday night, they might get a couple tips or tools that help them through their
To
week.
get them through the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
To get through the week. Yep.
That's a
And set the intention like, hey, I'm going to have a good week because on Sunday night I listened to that show, that positivity thing again, and they gave me some ideas. I'm going to try that one. I'm just going to try that one. I'm going to write 5 things I'm thankful for in a journal and
Right.
every day. Did we ever set that or did we just talk about it privately that we were
We
going to
talked about it privately, and then I think we wanted to make it like homework for today. Even though we both forgot about the homework that we assigned last week.
which was what? Remind
The
me.
recipes. Remember the recipes?
We
I
never
know,
got
we
any
both forgot.
recipes.
And,
wait a
and
minute,
we
guys.
got a couple of emails. Yeah, we got a couple.
Oh,
of
we
emails.
did? Okay.
Yeah. So last week's homework was we were talking about food. The whole conversation got guided towards food
Yes, it
and
did.
about how food is loved.
I don't know
and
how.
I have no idea how. And most families, they focus and they circle around the kitchen, which in most cultures, most countries, most households, whatever language you speak, wherever you live, most family semblance of family is revolving around the kitchen. And so we were like, well, let's talk about a recipe or let's talk about some sort of
Comfort
dish or food or
stuff that
something.
reminds you of your
Comfort food.
family.
Yeah, that you love.
You know,
Yeah.
like a memory. We always ate
Talk
this
about
on Thanksgiving, you know, something like
Yeah.
that. And we wanted everyone to share it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to post that on our Facebook page after the
Please,
show
yeah.
today and try to gather up some more recipes so
Mhm.
we have some.
Yeah, because Barbara
Um,
sent each other recipes all the time. You're like, this is really good.
Yes.
Yeah, this you didn't even know the side part of this is that we're foodies and we want to talk about food, okay? That's a sidebar here.
Yeah.
So,
huge foodies.
yeah.
I sent our other friend a link to like a whole bunch of charcuterie boards that just looked amazing.
Yes.
Did he tell you, Barbara? Did he tell you? Did he show you that? Yeah. I was like, these look good.
I actually know somebody who lives down by them. This might be a law of attraction thing that we didn't know. I know this guy who makes amazing charcuterie boards. That's a
Mhm.
hard word for me. You know how I am with certain words.
Yeah.
He makes the most amazing ones, like they're gorgeous. He'll do like a whole fireplace and it's like the food is hanging from the fireplace and you want to go eat it. It's amazing. And he lives by you guys, is what I'm saying. He lives over by Barb and Adam. So I will make sure I send you guys the link so you can find him and follow his. First of all, you want to follow his Facebook just so you can be hungry all the time. I'll probably share it on the Perfect Positivity page because he's a really great guy. But also, well, there's no also. That's just funny. I feel like you need to know this person. Okay.
I need to know him.
You need to know him and you need to watch his stuff, whether it
Yeah.
inspires you to make your own or one day you hire him for a party. It doesn't matter. He's a local to you guys though, because like I always want to call him for stuff, but that's a little too far for me. He's closer to you guys. It is what it is.
Send me the link, please.
Yeah.
Well, I most certainly will. That's great. That's great. Yeah, so we forgot to do that homework. So anybody who has a recipe will still do it. I will
Yes.
put it up. This week was madness for me.
Yeah, this week was a little tough.
I did say it last week. I'm working on my own stuff. I'm not supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be letting it go. I know this, Thomas. Don't have to say it. I'll just say it for you. But I have been trying to focus on time being abundant and having enough time.
Right.
And everything keeps I missed a few things 2 weeks ago and I was really mad at myself. This
you
week I didn't miss anything.
No, you didn't miss anything. You had a contrasting experience that allowed you and afforded you the opportunity to focus on things that were more pressing at that moment.
Sure. Okay. I had a
Follow that? Get all
contrasting
that?
That's a
contrasting
man's
moment. It was
You
very
had it.
contrasting. It upset
Yeah.
me highly. And but it
Okay.
also did give me the contrast that I know I don't like that feeling. And so I focused more on my budget, my bullet journal. And I wrote out my schedule again, nice and neatly and very, very clearly. And now I know my schedule again. And that's something that's really important to me, is looking at my schedule numerous times in the week and knowing I feel my anxiety goes down when I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's really important to me. And it kind of ties in with this week's homework, which is going to be about writing
Yep.
some gratitudes, and
Simple.
not just gratitudes, but what
Simple.
else?
Simple. So
Right,
things that
what-
you want.
What do you
So
think about punctuality?
say
With
that again.
Punctuality. Like, how does that offset your day? Like, if you're running, like, let's say, for instance, you have to be at the office at 9 o'clock. You have to be
Yeah.
to work, and you don't get there till 9:02.
Mm-hmm.
How does that offset your day? Does it?
I can be forgiving of something that minute. I'm going to tell you, I'm not one who usually cares much about that. I was never one that needed to be punctual, because I was always in a role in my career in the past that I rolled in and people were handing me the papers as I walked in, and then I went and did whatever presentation or training I was doing, and then I would go to my next one, and people were accepting of me being when I got there because of my role. And I lived like that for a long time. And so it did bother my family when I wasn't home on time. So it has become to me now a little more important that I want to do these things. But the way you just said it really is triggering something inside of me right now, because if anybody who knows my friends own a nursery locally, and I help out there. I love working there. I have yet to make it on time, and and sometimes I'll stay after and I'll make sure everything's closed right, but they don't ever get on me about it. And I always say to them, like, "Hey, I know I'm late," or I call them, "Hey, I'm running late." And they're like, "Michelle, that we know. No big deal." But it bothers me that I can't be there for them, that I'm not reliable. Now they're like, "You are reliable. You're here every time you say you'll be here." But I'm like, I'm rolling in because I have to care for my sister-in-law, or I have to get Tommy off to school, or whatever the case may be. I'm not making it on time, and I feel like a schmo. So there's definitely something to when you just said that. It made me think of that.
Not me. That was not sent in any way towards you.
No, I
It's just
know.
I'm going through right now where the way that my life may be changing. Well, I'm one of those people that is a stickler for being punctual, and it kind of upsets my whole day when the other people that I'm relying on to be punctual aren't there, because I feel like it's my downfall, but it's not. But I can't help that feeling that I have. And you try and think that, okay, we're just going to get through the day. We're going to get through this one next step. It doesn't matter if they're late, if they're this or whatever. But the thing of it is that I'm asking you this as a question of trying to keep on keeping the day going steady and positive. Like, because of the fact that I'm such a stickler about that, where do I go from there to try and keep that
Yeah, like, is it
positive
a let it go moment, or is it a focus on getting other people there on time in some way?
Do you want the easy answer? Do both of you want the easy answer?
Yeah.
You stop and you say to yourselves, how do I feel? How do I feel right now? You just stop and you go, how do I feel? And take a self-assessment. How do I feel? I feel stressed. Why do I feel stressed? I feel stressed because XYZ. Okay, well, now you've identified it. And once you've identified it, the anxiety of what it could be is now gone because you've identified it. And it's the self-assessment. It's the stopping and even when you're happy, even when you're ecstatic, and let's just say you're at an amusement park, stop yourself and say, how do I feel? Give yourself that moment. I feel wonderful. I feel exhilarated. Embrace that, and it's like, not to go back, but like to the loneliness, how do I feel? I feel lonely or I feel late. Okay, I've identified it. Now
Yeah.
I know what it is. At least I know what I'm dealing with. Because asking ourselves,
How
do
late
I
typically
feel?
are your people too? I mean, you want to use one of those strategies where you say, I know I want them here for 9, so I'm going to tell them to meet at 8:45. I mean, do you want to play that game?
Sometimes.
Let's just say, for instance, like you're working and clients start coming in, like let's say 9:15.
Uh-huh.
So when do you call it a time where is appropriate to where you don't say anything?
How long are your sessions with a client? I'm sorry?
Well,
Are
my
are
perspective
the
is
hour
that if your
sessions or
first
multiple
client
hours or
is
I
at
can't
9:15, to be there.
So, just so you know, in business, when I was seeing clients, and I actually am seeing clients again now. When I was doing therapy, I had a 15-minute buffer. If they weren't there within the 15 minutes, I said, "Thank you, but I gotta go on to my next client." That was typical. Now, if I didn't have another client lined up and, like, something legitimately happened, I would give them the, "Hey, listen, just let's not let this happen again." But if it was something that was constant, then the 15 minutes I held true to
Just
it.
half an hour.
You have half-hour sessions?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I know I had a 15-minute buffer because things can happen to anybody or if, I get it, or they have it, like, bounced right up against, after school or after work, and they're busting their butts to get there every week. I would say account for it if you know they're always gonna be 15 minutes late, maybe add them to the next half hours, switch their
Mhm.
appointments if they're always doing it consistently. I don't know if that's an option, so, in business, that's how I did it. Oh, and Barb is gone again.
Yeah.
Hi, Barb. I hope she heard that, and oh, she just popped back.
Back.
Barb, it's killing me because I
You
wanna
there.
talk to you about this. Technology is our friend, and I am so thankful that it works so well all the time.
My phone overheated. I can see it. Red.
Yeah, she's spotty.
Yeah,
All right,
she
I'm gonna
is.
check out and then sign back on again.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, last time she did that, she came back strong for a little while, so let's
Yeah.
hope she gets
Yeah.
there. Hi, Carol. So Trey.
Yeah, we got a
Oh,
lot of great
Trey said she just had this conversation with her
Hi, Carol.
therapist too, so that's
see?
great, and she told me I was a hero for keeping a schedule. Trey, I keep a schedule, it's a torture for me,
I
but
bet.
I go over it every night, and I made it nice. So I'll I'm gonna talk about bullet journals while we're waiting for
Mhm.
Barb, okay? So there are if you I almost don't want you to type in bullet journal into your Google because your ads will go crazy. Yes.
I
He has
just
his bullet journal. So some people use it to write their schedule. I'm one of those people. So I'll write my schedule physically out. I have had lots and lots and lots of date books. They didn't ever work for me. A bullet journal works for me. So I'll write Monday, this is what I have to do. And then right in it, I will be writing a little picture because I'm a doodler. I'll have a flower. I typically have lots and lots of flowers on my page. Then I will write my shopping list right in part of it. Then I will write the things I have to do for something else, the things I have to do for scouts this week because I'm involved in scouts. And and then I go back in the book and I go, okay, now what did I say I had for Monday? What did I get done? What haven't I gotten done yet? And I pull it over and I start to write it on my Tuesday page. And then I write Tuesday, here's my schedule, here's what's going on. Oh, these are the things I missed at the supermarket for one reason or another. Maybe they weren't on the list. Maybe they didn't have it at that. I love the Aldi, but they don't always have everything, so I have to go to the shop, right?
Aldi.
So, I have to hit the Weiss. That was for you guys. So, when that happens like that, I find it to be a really cool one. But if you type in bullet journal in Pinterest or something, people have the most gorgeous pages, and you
They-
can there's a lot of free ones out there you can download where
Huge
you can keep your
hobby.
schedule, and they'll say 5 things to think positively about, and write down the best part of your day. And so I try to do that as well. I try to write things I'm thankful for. I try to write something like if something happened that's great, I try to write it down because not that I forgot it happened, but I forget to celebrate it happened.
Mm.
It happened and it was great, and I went on to something else. And then like later on that day, I'm like, oh, this is crappy. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to celebrate that thing that happened. So when I write it down, it's there for me to celebrate it. So I keep mine handy with me. Of course, I don't have it right here because it's so funny because I'm talking about it. It's in the other room. But I keep mine if I go somewhere, if I leave the house, I bring it with me. And typically I bring it. Now, I am not somebody who is selling. Okay. But if you go to WTHC dot hyphen radio.com and you go to the merch page, I made a perfect positivity show notebook. It's just a notebook. It doesn't have any of our ideas in it. You have to play around with the ideas. But it says perfect positivity show on it. And it says, write down, I put something like write down some gratitude in here, things you're thankful for. So it was just something that I saw and I said, Thomas, what do you think? And you gave me the thumbs up and it's got a little 70s vibe to it. So if you guys don't have a notebook, which I'm not trying to, you could buy one at the dollar store, people. You don't have to get mine, but get something that you like.
Yes.
But if you get the one that comes from ours, it makes us happy. They do give us a little of a contribution with it. So it's great. It's not just like some other company. Like they give us money. So it's really cool if you do it. But like I said, you can go anywhere, get yourself a notebook, write anything. Oh, Trey is celebrating. I love it. Yes, you have to celebrate the little good things. And I know today, I'm going to say something out of line, Trey. I know you were having a struggle today with some stressors. And I am just so happy to see that you're here right now and you joined us and you're participating in this. And gratitude is key. I agree. When I am having a really rough day, I just feel like, I feel the weight of everything stacking on me. I go right to gratitude. I'll go to a gratitude affirmation, Bob Baker, because he's my king. I'll go to a gratitude affirmation page, or I'll just write down my gratitude, things I'm thankful for, right in my bullet journal, and I focus on them. I usually just start with my family, my pets. Like I am not some profound deep thinker. The blue sky and the mountainous, that's not coming out of me. I'm not a poet. I wish I was, and I think it's fantastic for those of you who are. I'm writing my favorite gray shirt is on my list, things like that. Good friends, and then I start to, it gets easier and easier every time you do it. I had said, I thought we should tell people to start with 5, writing 5 every day. Thomas, you had said, well, if they write 1, it's good.
Yeah. I was like, if they come up with one good thing that they want, all right. I mean, if you want to do 5, do 5.
It does not, and I agree. It does not have to just be things you're thankful for. In a bullet journal, it could be things you're aspiring to. It's things you're looking forward to. Like I'm so excited. I'm going to be a famous podcaster someday.
Right. Anything. Yeah.
Anything.
I want new candles for my bathroom. Whatever it is. I want.
I'm just so thankful for those new candles I'll be getting because I know I'm excited about buying them.
Yeah. I want a new car. I want I want a new vacuum. I loved watching those kids play in the playground. I had so much joy at the beach the other day. Just things to look back. Once you externalize it, it becomes very, very real.
Have you ever gone to the supermarket and a little kid who's adorable, like smiles and waves at you and they're going, hi. Write that in your bullet journal.
Yeah.
Because when you remember it, you're like, geez, that kid was adorable. And that was such a happy moment of pure joy. And kids can bring that out so much more than sometimes we can. That's why they call it faith of a child and all that stuff, because they just have it, man. They're just like, hi. And you're like, hi. You can have tears rolling down your face and that little kid is waving at you saying hi. And you're like, oh, hi, sweetie.
Yeah. You're like, hi.
I'm not crying,
You're crying.
So Beth Majuri says, when you're giving that energy, you are attracting more of it. Absolutely true.
Correct.
Absolutely true. And that is Beth from our positivity, that other positivity group that you and I are in.
Yep.
Yeah. So very cool. I'm so glad to see that you made it here today. Oh, Allie says when she's truly thankful, it's
I become simultaneously truly present. Yes. It's true. Yes, it's true.
I was excited about the comment and then I was like reading it going, wait, that's profound.
Yeah. She is. Yeah, I know, Allie. That's a good friend of mine. She is. She's
Oh,
highly
okay.
intelligent, highly profound person.
I
Yeah.
I think when you live in the moment, oh, you can't hear me right there. When you live in the moment is when you're doing your best living. When you are worrying about the future or even just hyper focusing about the future, it gets to be too much. That's what worry is. And then when you are living in the past, I was just reading some stuff about I'm a sentimental person. I'm not getting rid of my sentimental things. However, I'm sorry I used however. I'm sorry. I do I do understand when people say, rid yourself of some of those old things, like delete the pictures on your phone kind of thing. I think you and I had read that and you were like, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I love my pictures. I'm
I have like
not doing that.
67,000 pictures,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
But there is some truth in like living in the past. It's okay to visit the past and if you especially if you revisit the happy moments. And it's okay to be excited for the future, but if you too focused on it, you start to get anxious. But when you
Yeah.
live right here in the moment, that is when you can feel pure joy and you can really enjoy it. So,
Who said
Allie, very good to say, like, if you start to be thankful for those things you have right in this moment,
Aw.
you get to live in this moment. So I love it.
thankful for
Love,
her
love.
too? Yeah, she said thankful for you. I'm thankful for you too.
Oh, very nice.
I've known her over 30 years.
Oh my
And
goodness.
considering I'm only 25, that's an impressive thing.
I know.
Tre- 22, 21, 19. So 18.
I think you and I are at about 30 years too.
Yeah,
So
actually,
that's
17. It's going to be 18. So no,
amazing.
Trey said the celebrating. Maybe I need to learn how to celebrate. There's two things in what Trey said that I want to address. Trey said maybe I need to learn how to celebrate. You could do that at any moment of any day. Again, how do I feel? Two, just look at something that you appreciate. Like it could be a candle on your table. Oh wow, I really like that candle. I bought it for a reason. I bought it because it smelled good. It brings me joy. I
I'm
may
calling
not have
shenanigans
noticed that.
on Trey
Yeah.
right now. The other day, she was feeling bad and she went out and visited her pet turkey because she has a pet turkey, which is the coolest thing in the world. And she videotaped it. And the joy I got from seeing her pet turkey, it could only have turned any bad feelings around because that turkey is so beautiful and
Yeah.
so cool. And I so appreciate when you make videos with your turkey or on your farm. Like I love that, Trey. So I'm not trying to. I was just kidding about shenanigans. Everybody's allowed to have bad feelings. You're allowed to go through your feelings of grief and go through.
And the other thing Trey said, meanwhile, there are 30 plus items on my to-do list. Here's how to get through a to-do list.
Okay.
A to-do list is really nothing more than a gratitude list.
Okay.
Here's what I mean about that. That to-do list. So let's just say I have to get gas in my car. I have to go shopping. I have to clean the bathroom. I have to, I don't know, wash the pots and pans. Okay. So I have to go put gas in my car. Or I have to bring my car to the mechanic. I have a car that I can even bring to a mechanic. There are people wishing they could even afford a car.
I'm so thankful I have a mechanic I can trust to take a look
I'm
at my
so
car.
happy and grateful that I even have a car. I have to wash the dishes. Well, I mean, whatever your to-do list is, those are lists of things that you have in your life to help your life succeed. That's really what a to-do list is.
And so in my bullet journal, when I get stuff accomplished or when I'm about to, all right, so those of you who know, I had a very important meeting a few weeks ago that I was very anxious about. It was with government officials that I didn't want to meet with. Okay? It is what it is. And I wrote all around it, I'm so glad this is going to be over as soon as this meeting's through. And then I started writing, this meeting was so successful. Before I even had the meeting, I started putting hearts around the meeting. I changed my vibe about the meeting, and the meeting went so much better than I had planned or had thought it would because of me putting that into my journal. So you just triggered me in saying that, like, I started like the gratitude of it. Like, yeah, you have this to-do list and it's got wash the dishes. And, if you're washing the dishes, that means you fed everybody in the house and there was food.
Everyone's fed.
Everyone's fed. I'm so thankful for that.
I have running water. Right.
Yeah. What is Allie saying? Sometimes I think it's important to steer into the past and really experience any suppressed pain. It is, Allie, it is very hard as a therapist who's also a positive energy person because you do sometimes have to revisit some of that pain and work through it. But once you work through it, then you can't just live in it. You have to say, okay, now I've experienced it. I know why this happened, or I can accept that this happened and let it go now and get to the next level. So I completely agree with you, and gratitude can heal. Gratitude can heal, saying, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe this thing happened with a parent. Maybe, and not with my parent. I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression, especially since my mom's on.
Because they're watching. Yeah.
They're watching. but maybe somebody has to work through something.
Hi, Karen.
And then
Yeah.
you start, when you work through it and you kind of go, well, that's the best my parents could do at that time in my life.
Right.
You know, it sucked for me because I was the one being traumatized by it. But at that moment, they couldn't do anything more. And again, that is not about my parents. They were wonderful, amazing parents who are listening now. And they really were. I'm not just saying that. But you know, when people have that kind of trauma, and you have to say, I'm just thankful that they did the best they could, that they were able to, you know, give me all they could give me, and you're able to like say, and I forgive them and I work through it. And I know that's hard.
Yeah.
But there is a place for it, and that's what good therapy can do.
Yeah.
And I do recommend that. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to live in the past and redo it, but you definitely need to sometimes address some old stuff and work through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, if you can't look at the
You gotta
past,
let it go.
Now, what is the past? The past, any experience you've had is, again, not a negative, but what really should be termed as a contrasting experience. So, you know, again, we're back to contrast. You know, how do you know that you like iced tea instead of warm tea unless you had a contrasting experience to actually give you the opportunity to see and to focus on what it is you truly, really want anyway in life?
I am very, very thankful to my ex-boyfriends. I have said this before. I am very thankful. I definitely dated some good guys, and I dated some not so good guys. And I'm so thankful, because I don't think I would be the wife I am, and I won't think I would be able to enjoy love that I have now with my husband if I had not had those bad experiences and not recognized that that's not what I want. That contrast was not for me. And even some of the good guys, like I went, I wish that had worked out in some ways, because that guy was really a great guy, but I know why it didn't. It was because he needed that lesson to go on to be a good husband to that person over there, or it just wasn't right for us. And you know, but I think people kind of take for granted, and they think, oh, they're so angry at their exes. Let it go, man. They taught you something. You learned something, and now you're going to be a better, you know, person
in the long
to your new love, or your new friend, or your new whatever, because you had that crappy experience.
Right. And that's the point. Right. You're having a crappy experience. Right. And an important thing to remember is everyone on this planet is having a contrasting experience at this moment. Everyone is having an experience that is allowing them and affording them the opportunity to see what they truly admire and feel that they deserve in life, and truly what they don't want in life. Everyone is in a relationship that is teaching them what they really want in a partner and what they don't want in a partner. Everyone is in a job or has a career that is teaching them what they appreciate about professionalism and not what they appreciate about professional. Everyone has that automobile that is teaching them what they really appreciate about the smooth ride and not about. So everyone is having. Now, we always call it, well, everyone's going through something. That's really what we're talking about. Everyone is having a contrasting experience. So it's like, be easy with everyone, because everyone's kind of going through something. Everyone's having a contrasting experience.
So I have been saying this too shall pass for a while. This too shall pass. By the way, it's not from the Bible, just so you guys know, because everybody thinks it's from the Bible. It is not. But this too shall pass is one I say a lot. And then somebody posted this today. Golly. I got to make sure I want to get the quote right. Oh, come on. I know I photographized it. But yeah. You need to drum roll, because I'm screwing this up so badly. Oh, there, I do have it. This too shall pass, and then some other bullshit will come and take its place, because it never fucking ends. And I screenshot it, even though it goes against my law of attraction stuff, because I laughed, And because we are all there's all sorts of stuff that's going to come up. It's how you react to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's not going to suck a little bit, but it's how you react to it. Am I going to celebrate that person's life who passed away, or am I going to sit there and just be like, "Why did you leave me?"
Right.
You're allowed to think that for a moment, but truthfully, you're going to be better off. They want you to celebrate their life. They do not want you to sit there and, be miserable.
Yeah.
And you it's that choice every time. You get in a car accident, you check on the other person. Are you okay over there?
Right.
One time hubby and I were in a car accident and the woman came out screaming at us. And I had to go to the hospital. I was hurt, screaming at us. And she screamed at me. She was also in the ambulance because she was faking an injury. And she screamed at me the entire time in the ambulance. Yeah. So, when we got to the hospital, they were like, separate these two. I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, separate her.
Yeah.
But it's what you, it stinks. Yeah. Finding the laughter. Absolutely. It's how you look at it and address it, because yes, these things keep happening. That doesn't mean they're bad things either. Like, that little quote is funny. It's all bullshit. The next, yes, that's funny. But the reality is not everything that happens that might be perceived as bad in some ways are bad either. Like losing my job, stunk. I didn't like it when it was happening, but I know it was opening the door for better things for me.
Right.
I know that it has brought me back down to my roots of law of attraction, my roots of other things. And so that stunk. And at the moment, at the time, I still grieve it a little bit because I loved it. But it's how I'm looking at it now going, okay, but that needed to happen so I can get on to the next thing. And I think, as long as we, like, I guess as Allie was saying, you accept it, you go back, you visit it when you have to, but then you go forward, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
People having tantrums does remind me of toddlers. And I'm always like, oh.
It's true. Now, right. And why do people have tantrums? So I that's really, who said that? Who was that? I love that. Beth. Hi, Beth. So we mentioned parenting. Nothing against Carol, because I know Michelle's mom is watching. Nothing against Carol. I swear to God, Carol, I swear to God. But parenting in general, what's the job of a parent in general? The job of, well, let me backtrack. So what are we talking about? We're talking about connecting to source. So when we say law of attraction and what's going to deliver us these things that we really want in life, it's the universe. It's whatever your God is. It's whatever your religion is. It's source energy. It's the energy that creates worlds. It's the
even
energy.
if you don't have that kind of belief, but you can recognize the science of it. There is a science of it too.
Right. It's the energy that created the universe, right? So it's that creative force energy. So when we're young, we really don't know how to connect to that energy. So we look upon a parent to provide us with that joy, with that instinct, with that inspiration to get us there, get us there, get us there, get us there, get us there. And it's part of our job, and it's part of the parent's job to both separately but yet together learn to attain a connection to source without the use of a parent. That's what schooling is for. That's what growing up is for. That's what development is for. That's what things are for. People that throw people that throw tantrums later in life, there's still some sort of psychology there. There's still some sort of rhythm where they're looking upon other people to provide that source to them instead of the true source, the true universal source to them. Does that make sense? They're still looking upon people to give them that inspiration, to give them that connection. And that's unsustainable. That's not sustainable. You're setting yourself up for failure every time. The only true way to keep that momentum going, to keep yourself in a positive vibration, to keep things coming into your life, is to connect to your true source.
So I just want to add upon this because Trey said something that directly is connected to it, which she was saying that she's finding changing perspective to be difficult. Sometimes she feels like she's brainwashing herself into being more like, I don't know, to force herself. And I'm going to tell you something. When I started this journey the first time, now I had let it go and restarted. When I started the journey the first time, I actually made a conscious decision. I was going to buy in. I was like, I am so sick of being miserable. I do not want to be like this anymore. and I knew somebody. It was the organist from my church growing up, and this man smiled every time I saw him. He was playing the organ at church like this every single week, and I was like, "What kind of drugs is this guy on?" Because I don't understand. And
I
my
was
mom,
no,
who sang at the church, would tell me, "No, he's just happy. He is just a positive guy. He's just always happy." And I could never buy into that. And when I decided I was sick of being miserable, like I said, that was probably like 10 years ago. More, 12 years ago. 13 years ago. Doesn't matter. When I had decided that I was going to make the change, I literally said, I'm going to buy in. I have to buy in. I have no choice. It's either buy in and choose happiness or sit here miserable. And I know the contrast there. I did not want misery anymore. I was just walking around complaining about life to every person I talked to. Well, is what it is. Everything's bad, blah, 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 blah. And everywhere I went was a complaint. And I didn't want that anymore.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Trey, because it kills me when you say stuff like that, because you're one of the coolest people I know, and I think you're amazing. And I don't know, I don't know if just sharing more about your amazing life will help you, but I think it does, because I think whenever you share something, I just think you're such a cool person. And so it's interesting that how we all self-perceive ourselves, and she's saying, I don't know if I can do this. I really believe you can.
Yeah.
And I think
Start
you
small.
are
Don't start-
inspiring. Yeah, you
Yeah,
start small.
Start small.
You don't have to
Because-
change your whole life in
yeah,
one day.
Trey, let me tell you something. So, Trey, is it logical to try to eat all the food that you're ever going to need in your whole life in one day? No. Is it logical to try to advance all the advancement that you're going to go through your whole life in a week? No, that's not logical. Start, and I'm not saying that that's what you want to do, but start small. Start really small. Go easy. Go easy. Give yourself a pass. Just focus on, oh, wow, that leaf is actually like kind of cool looking. Oh, that tree. Oh, that tree is like kind of cool. Oh, that breeze. That breeze
And
is like
she's
cool.
like an artist who could do
The
amazing art.
smallest
So
little- that
she
color.
has to
Yeah.
be able to appreciate that naturally, because it's like, how would you be able to create the art she creates without doing that?
Right.
I'm calling you out. You're amazing. Today has
start
been a
small.
no shenanigans, calling everybody out.
Yeah,
You're all
yeah.
amazing.
People that say, it happens.
Allie, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. When they say it feels like I'm brainwashing myself, well, yeah, because sometimes, yes, I actually feel the same way, because we are taught at a very young age, again, nothing against parents, but we're taught by society at a very young age that life is difficult. Money doesn't grow on trees, even though it's made of paper, and it kind of does. That things are difficult.
Even though it absolutely is
hard.
paper.
yeah, paper and cloth, and things are difficult and things are whatever, and we're taught like there's very rigid ways to go about this.
Isn't it funny that we live in America? We live in the United States, and we are told we can be anything we want in the world, but we're also told, but we're not going to be that millionaire.
Yeah,
You'll never have that big break, like all in the same breath. You need to be realistic. Have a backup. I cannot remember or forget how many times when I was young, they would say, have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Backup. And
plan.
I had kind of wanted to maybe try out or be on Broadway when I was young. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to be on Broadway and be an actress.
Right.
And they were like, well, what's your backup plan? And I'm going
Right.
to tell you something. I never even went out for a show after that, because, well, if I'm going to need a backup plan, I don't know that I'll ever make it. So
Now,
I might as
right.
well just focus on that backup plan.
Right, because what is a backup plan really focusing on? It's focusing on failure. You would only need a backup plan because of failure. So what
Right.
does the focus become? It becomes failure.
And it doesn't mean that a wise person, like an amazing professional athlete, shouldn't use the opportunity to go to college for free to get that education, so that when
Right.
they're done being an athlete, they're also a doctor or something.
Right. Use
Like,
the
I don't want to discourage anybody
Yeah.
and say, don't plan for,
use the
you know,
loophole. Yeah.
yeah, but I still, and you absolutely should do good, have wise choices, and like, okay, I'm going to be an actress, but I'd also maybe take the side class just for some extra knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, but when you focus too much on that backup plan, and we're just told this when we're kids, like, you could be anything you want,
Yeah.
but maybe not that.
Right, but maybe not.
It's
Yeah.
so, well, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be the president. I was really, really wanting to be the president. And no woman had even gotten close. I mean, Geraldine Ferrara a little bit kind of, you know, she was up there enough. But and I remember someone saying to me, "You really want to do that? I mean, there's probably never going to be a woman president." And at the time, I just remember being devastated by that. And I'm like, no, I could be whatever I want. You know, having that belief I could be whatever I want. But then thinking, maybe I won't be a president. Maybe I'll just try to be a senator or something. And, you know, fast forward,
Yeah.
I might run for school board someday. I don't.
Maybe I'll be PTA captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Against
Yeah.
president-
All right. I've changed.
captain.
I've modified it, but yeah. Well, you know, and just these things that people say to kids that
I went from president to scout mom.
please, I like being a scout mom, but yes,
Right?
please, please, please don't do that to your children. Even if they're aspiring to something ridiculous, if they're aspiring to it, you say, well, I hope that works out. You know,
Right.
I'll help you with the tools that I can. I think you should also open your mind to some other talents that you have if you really need to say that. But don't discourage them because I can't tell you how many times I wrote a paper in 5th grade. And see how devastating this was, how much trauma this was for me that I'm able to bring up in 5th grade. I wrote a paper.
Right.
Okay. I'm about becoming Miss America. And I was not in pageants or anything like that. And my teacher teased me and I ripped the paper up and wrote a whole different paper. She was like, I never knew that about you. You want to be Miss America? Well, like she just said it so sarcastically. I ripped the paper up and she's dead now and we all celebrated, by the way. I'm sorry, that's not law of attraction good thing. She was a mean teacher. I ripped the paper up and I never ever discussed it again. I never discussed and like how strong people's words can really affect the projection of a person. And no, it's my own fault. I decided to give up the goal because I chose to give up because I chose to hear these people. But please speak with kindness, especially to children, but to everyone. If someone tells you they want to be like there's a kid who hangs out with my brother. He tells me he's going to make his first million by 21. And I'm like, that's awesome. Tell me everything you're trying to do because I don't want him to have that same kind of experience I had. And he's like, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm like, tell me more because I don't understand how that works. Like I ask him questions. I want him to go into it reasonably and realistically, but I also encourage the heck out of him because my God, I don't want to be that teacher. And what those other people did to me when they said, I don't know if a woman will ever be president and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure the words you're using. See, this is not the direction we were planning on going in tonight. But
Yeah, no, this completely opposite, but that's fine. This is why we don't script the show. Also, Allie said something, but how important is it that we stay authentic? To her, I say, when you are self-assessing, when you are asking yourself how you feel and you are seeing where your focus is that not the most authentic you could ever possibly be? Right or wrong?
Yeah.
So yes, so there is no worry about being authentic when we say to ourselves, how do I feel? And then we see how I feel. Feel action, feel action, feel action, feel action, feel action, feel action. How do I feel? Take action. How do I feel? Take action. How do I feel in this moment? Take action. Okay. Now in the next moment, how do I feel in this moment? Okay, I'm going to take action.
Yeah.
And then that's
and I will tell you, taking that self-inventory, maybe that's what you can use your journal for. If you got yourself a journal and you're writing stuff, you can say, how did that meeting make me feel? You know, like self-assess at the end of things. You know, what did you learn from it?
Now here,
that was a great meeting.
Yeah, which brings us to a really important. I did want to get to this tonight, so at least we're getting one thing. So there's something called segment intending. Now, what is segment intending? So segment intending. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, that starts a segment of your day. So you're getting ready, you're going to make coffee, you may go brush your teeth, take a shower, blah, 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 walk out the door. That's a segment. When you get into your car, that's another segment of your day. And you get into your car and, you know, you're driving to work, blah, blah, blah. When you get into work, that's a different segment of your day. Okay. And then when you go to the meeting, that's another segment of your day. And then, like, you know, you take a business.
I was feeling frustrated this morning and I decided to take a shower to change the segment of my day because you had said, you had mentioned this to me in passing earlier in the week. And I don't know that much about it and I still want to hear more, but I literally decided to make a change.
Yeah. So when we segment intend, we're intending the segment to go a very specific way. See, this is what I mean by you can't possibly eat all of the food that you need in one day, in one moment. It's not logical, it's not sustainable. You can't plan out your entire day in one moment. So the segment, so you wake up, okay, so this segment, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, I'm going to enjoy my shower, I'm going to get my lunch ready, I'm going to put everything together, I'm going to get my bag, and I'm going to go, and this is going to be a great morning, and I'm going to get the kids ready, and the kids are going to get ready, and you intend for the most positive outcome for just the one segment. And then, okay, segment's over, you get to your car. Now it's a brand new segment. I intend, and I love, and I'm so happy and grateful that there are clear roads, and I'm so happy and grateful that, the crazies are, staying away, and I'm so happy and grateful that, I'm surrounded by just really, really great drivers, and that's a whole, you intend for the best possible outcome for that one segment. And then you have a meeting coming up, and then you intend for the best possible outcome for that segment.
Yes.
Make sense? So if you're trying to plan out, so it's kind of like an analogy I used. It's kind of like an analogy I used a few weeks ago, where you can drive from New York to California in the middle of the night, using nothing but the headlights on your car. You don't care when you leave New York. You don't care what the traffic in Utah is. You don't care. You can't care.
You're worried about what's going on right there.
You're worried about something that is so many segments away.
It'll be resolved by the time you get there. So why would you worry about that?
It's taking up too much real estate. Yes. It's taking up too much real estate in your brain. So don't worry about the weather and the traffic in California yet. You're not there yet. Your day's away from it. Don't worry about the meeting that you have at 3 p.m. while you're making your coffee. I mean, go over notes if you have to, sure. But,
it doesn't mean go through life unprepared and just hope your instincts take over.
Yeah,
I mean,
once you get, TJ, stop it.
I know.
Get closer to that segment, then start intending for the best possible outcome for that segment.
So for those of you who don't know, sometimes when it says WTHC radio, it's me typing. So sometimes it's like, if it's like, yes, Allie, awesome. That's me. Sometimes, because we're using the open account, my husband in the other room, who's a very, very funny man, is writing. He writes stuff like smoke weed to change your segment of your day, and truthfully, that does work. If you're somebody who partakes, absolutely can change your mode. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is some of those comments are the hippie versus me. And if you go through, see, there's the hippie right away. He doesn't like to talk about cars at all. He's been in a car accident, just so you guys know. Anybody who listens to him regularly knows he doesn't like to drive. That's why he's going on with this. So this analogy does not work for him. We will find one that will. But yeah. So it keeps you in the moment, Allie. Allie's theme tonight is stay in the moment. I think that's a great theme for all of us.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It does. It keeps you in the moment.
It keeps you in the moment.
Because when we're
not worry about what we're going to.
Yeah.
You can't worry about what's behind you. You got to worry about the little bit that you can see right in front of you, and that's it.
Yeah, you can't worry about the weather 3,000 miles away when you're not even out of your current time zone.
Yeah.
Can't worry about it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Useless.
Yeah, so
and this is why we do the show.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that's totally why we wanted to do this, because we're because you know why? Because we rely on each other a lot. We go back and forth. What are you thinking about this? I had this experience at work today, and how should I play it, or what, or the opposite, like I'm playing it like this.
Right.
And we're very lucky to have to bounce this off each other, but that's why we wanted to show, so that other people who might not have another positive voice could find us and bounce stuff back and forth with us. And as you could tell, we're reading comments as they come, and we're commenting back because we want to give you a voice that bounces back, and we want to learn stuff from you guys. Like Allie is filled with stuff. Like that might be a future guest if that's a friend of yours.
Yeah.
And I mean, as is Beth, as is Trey, we have a lot of amazing people that listen and comment and do great things. And so this is a hippie thing. So those of you who don't know, Hippie, my husband, goes by Hippie on the radio show on WTHC, and we do have to break for a commercial in 1 second. But he has this theory: if you always think the worst is going to happen, then when good things happen, you can celebrate it.
Right.
There's a little bit of truth in
There's a
that. I
little
mean,
bit of truth in that.
yeah,
There's a little bit of truth in that.
I don't want to always worry about the worst thing happening. But I also know if you always think the best thing's going to happen, sometimes you are disappointed. So I try to just
Shoot for the best.
say
Yeah.
the best thing for me in this moment is going to happen. Like
Right.
you got to kind of come to terms with that. I would really like this to work out like this, but however it works out, I know it's the best thing for me in this moment.
Right.
You think that's
Right.
about right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when a skier is going down the hill, does the skier focus on the hill, down the slope, or the trees? Because when they focus on the trees, they're going to end up in the trees. But when they
Right.
focus on the slope, then they end up doing the hill. You know, they end up doing the course. They
It's
stay the
nice to
course.
have a community together, Hippie, that we can all talk to each other and bounce ideas off. It doesn't mean you have to trust them with your whole life, but it is a good idea to bounce ideas. We have some really good people here. But first, we're going to have a quick commercial break from WTHC Radio. Those of you on Facebook and YouTube, keep chatting. Hopefully, if I can remember how to play everything.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in
All right,
just a
I got
minute.
it. So we're
Dad,
off on the
your lunch will
radio.
be ready in
Okay.
just a
Just the
minute.
commercial. We can
Hey.
chatter away.
Why
All
don't
right.
you take a minute? When you help care for a loved
Yes,
one,
Allie,
give
you're
them as
absolutely
much
right.
time
I
as
think
you
that the
can.
teachers who
Making
said some
sure they're
crummy
safe
things
and
to me,
comfortable.
they taught me
But
what I
it's
don't. I
just
know
as
I don't want to say, and I'm,
important to take some time
you
for
know, I'm
yourself.
actually not a
At
therapist. I'm an
AARP, we
educator.
can help with
But when I
information
got
and
into
useful
education, there was
tips
no
on how you
education
can
jobs, so I
maintain a
got
healthy life
absorbed
balance,
by this
care for your
company
own
that does
physical and
therapy.
mental well-being,
So I went to
and
school for
manage the
education, but I do
challenges of
therapy.
caring for a loved one. Because
So
the better
that's
care
my
you take
background,
of
and I
yourself,
wanted to be an
the better
educator,
care
and
you
I
can
wanted to
provide
make
for your
sure
loved
that
one.
I was giving that
Thanks,
stuff
Dad.
to the kids
Thank
that I
you.
didn't always have.
You're there for them.
I
We're
had some
here
great
for you.
teachers too, by the way. I
Find
had
free care
amazing
guides to
teachers.
support
Yeah.
you and your loved
But that was
ones at
something that was always in my mind.
aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving.
So some people are like, "Aren't you a
Public service
teacher?"
announcement
You
brought
know,
to you
I,
by
because
AARP
I do
and the
talk
Ad
about that a
Council.
lot. Oh, well, I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Allie. Yeah, thank you. I've only been telling you for 4
All
weeks.
right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised
I
my
can
older
tease her because I've known her so
big
long.
oak
She's one of my
tree. It
oldest
was at
friends.
least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a
Oh.
record or something. And then we went down by a stream and
And
perched
tell
up on a
Cody,
huge
Allie,
rock
tell your son
and saw
Cody.
all
Yes,
of these
he's right.
little minnows
Uh,
swimming around way
Mike,
below us. And then I
Rollins.
rescued my little brother
Yeah.
from an evil slug king who was guarding him.
I
in the
understand,
bushwalks.
Allie.
And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig
I
farm for
do
safety.
take care of
And then
you,
we all laid
Hippie.
out and told stories until it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all
We
the way
all-
home.
Where were you, Jill?
Yeah, we went to the forest.
The
It's not far
forest.
away.
Forest
I
together.
know there's
Anyone
supposed to be
wanna
another
come this
commercial I
weekend?
play, but if you remember, it doesn't play the same commercial
Ask your
we hear
pets to
everywhere
clean your
else. Everybody
friend's
else hears a
senses
different
Yeah.
and
commercial
find the fun,
Yeah.
adventurous you.
based on
It's
where you
closer
live.
than you think. Check
So
out
if you're listening on the radio, you're
discovertheforest.org.
hearing a different
Brought to you
commercial.
by the
Yep.
U.S. Forest Service and
Yep.
the Ad Council.
Yeah, what's playing on the radio?
Well, they should be hearing us on WTHC Radio because we are back from our commercial break.
That was quick.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was a quick one. It's because I didn't play that other Own Your Water commercial.
Ah.
I'll play it in a minute though. You know I will. I always get to it.
Mhm,
So, yeah, so today we're already almost out of time.
Yeah, we're almost out
I
of time.
was gonna play the Snoop Dogg affirmation song, but you know what? It is fantastic. If you haven't heard it, Snoop Dogg made a song for children. It is over the top amazing. If you type it into TikTok, there's about 1 million versions of people just dancing to it because it just makes everyone happy. And we'll play it another day for sure when we have Snoop Dogg on as our guest. I can't wait. That's
Yeah.
just a few weeks away. We don't have a date hammered out yet because I just decided that we're doing it now, but it could happen.
So yeah, so homework for today. So homework for today. Good transition on my part. So, not at all.
I don't think Thomas believes that Snoop Dogg will be on our show, but it
Will
could
be on our
happen. Thomas, this is the law of attraction show.
Yes, he's definitely going to be. Yes, what am I talking about? Of course he's going to be on.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
I
of
thought
course.
you were going to jump right on, like, Michelle, that could happen. And
That
instead you went,
absolutely could happen.
okay.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yes, that's a great idea. Absolutely. We're
It
going to make
is
that
a
happen.
good idea. No, we love it, Trey. We love it. You did not take up too much of our time. This was fantastic.
No, this was good.
Yeah,
was
I
good.
love Snoop too. I love him too. And the affirmation song's great. I'm gonna close the show out. When we close out the show, before I turn off the radio, I'll play it for everybody.
Mm.
Yes, we're gonna manifest all the good stuff.
Yes, manifest. Yep.
All right. I'm
Yep.
sorry. So homework this week.
Oh no, so homework is yes. So everyone, so please go to WTHC-radio.com and purchase our notebook, the Perfect
Purchase
Positivity
our notebook.
Notebook. And believe me, we're not making a whole big killing on this. I think we
No,
make
no,
like
no.
$2.
Yes.
And it all goes back to the radio.
Or you can
I'm
get
not
another
even-
notebook, whatever
we
inspires you
literally
more.
we literally make it's something like $1.50 or like $2. And it
Yeah,
all goes
yeah.
back to the radio station.
But
we're-
we just liked it. We're gonna make more notebooks. This is
Yeah,
our
we're
first
gonna
attempt,
do- yeah.
and it's on the when you see it says merch, go ahead and look there. It's our first attempt, but we'll probably make it. We'll probably make
gonna
other
do
versions
more.
because we both said we wanted one that has some leading journal entries to like help lead people into a positive vibe.
place.
But
Yeah.
this was just attempt one. We have the ability to make a cover. Okay,
Yes.
done. We
Yeah.
made a pretty cover. 70s vibe.
Yep.
Um,
I love a
It's
good
very-
70s vibe.
yeah. So that was our step one. If you don't go there and you want to get started right away, or maybe you want to do that in a couple days, still get started right away. Grab a notebook at your local dollar store.
You're
Get
right.
yourself going.
2 for
Start
$1.
first,
And just
and
start.
then worry about buying. But that being
Yeah.
said, it does support us, and we love that, and that's very helpful. Oh, and look at the hippie. Put the link right in there in the web. Very good, right there in the feed.
Yep. Excellent.
Yes, very
Start with,
good.
I love a child's laughter. I love the color blue. I love the taste of chocolate. I am so happy and grateful for clear roads.
It's so funny how you just did that. I like to mix up how I write my affirmations.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
want
switch
to
it up.
write I love, or I'm thankful for. Then it becomes Bart Simpson on the chalkboard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Switch it up.
I write it differently each time, and I will put little hearts and little peace
Mm-hmm.
signs and little flowers, and I make it joyful. And it's not how
Yeah.
many things I write. Hi, Nancy Ann. It's not how many, and she's saying hi to you specifically, Thomas. It's
not
not
funny.
how many
I'll see you in the car.
affirmations I write. It's how much passion I feel about the ones I do write. If I only write my family today, and I put all sorts of hearts and stuff around it because I'm just so thankful for my family, I don't need to write anything else. That was where my vibe was that day. So just start it, get it going. Like I said, in mine, I keep my schedule. I write my grocery list. I write the stuff I have, and then I write things about it. My trip to the grocery store is going to be quick and easy.
Simple
You
things.
know,
Simple things.
yeah, I write those little things, and I'm going to save money with coupons today. I just write stuff, and and I got to tell you, it helps me keep it organized, and it helps me keep it positive. So I wanted to share that with you. Thomas had said he likes that too. He also works in his notebook. So
Yeah.
and then we
My-
created this
for
notebook.
today. It's not even. There's no even. It's just lines on a paper. It's nothing fancy. It's just lines on paper. For today,
I mean, you can buy a fancy bullet journal,
You can if you
for like
want.
30 and $40.
Get
and
one
they're
made a
amazing.
leather. Who knows? Get one
Absolutely.
made-
And if you
get a
have the money for
recycle-
that and you're
right.
excited for it and you
Do
love
it.
it and it inspires
Do
you,
it.
do it. Yes,
Do it.
feel
Get a
it.
nice pen. You do whatever you want.
Oh, one of the things they do say to do is find the right pen for it. So I do recommend finding the right pen. I did find mine at the dollar store, but it's a gel pen and it writes very smoothly and it makes me happy. I do not need a fancier pen than that. I'm very happy with mine.
Yeah. Like my entry for today, the only thing I wrote for today was I want a very joyful day. That's it. That's it. That's all I wrote. That's it. That's all I
Oh.
wrote. I want a very joyful day. And it's been fantastic. And it's been the only thing that I've been focusing on all day is just having a joy-filled day.
Yeah.
And it happened. It totally happened. Today was great. Ending with literally like a fantastic show.
I felt like this was a good show tonight too. I'm really glad that we did it. And I was I gotta tell you, I was a little bit nervous because I was like,
why?
We didn't have as much planned as we usually do. And
We never do.
I know. And I feel, but I think that's good. That's the good nervous energy. I get the good nervous
never
energy.
do.
Like right before a show on the stage and you get a little
Yeah.
nervous energy.
Yeah, a little bit.
In a good way. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna sign out. I hope we're good enough for them. But I feel very validated. Yes, Trey feels a pen really does matter, and Allie is thankful for my husband, so that's hysterical. and
He is.
and
He's
thank
really
you,
funny.
Carenza. I hope I say I'm that right. If I'm not, Carenza, you can go ahead and message me how to say it the correct way. But I'm glad you had fun tonight, and you are always welcome to come back. We're very excited to have you. And yes, we're winging it is good.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is
Inspired
good stuff. Oh, Carenza said I said it right. Woohoo!
Yeah.
So
inspired conversation. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. I am like super thankful we had such good people come in tonight and kind of lead us and guide us, and I hope that we helped our one gentleman from earlier in the night maybe figure out a better way to look at his feelings and his loneliness, and I hope he finds his path. I'm sure he will, and if he keeps talking to this group of people, he's going to have good positive people to bounce off. I would love it. I'm very much looking forward to people interacting on the Facebook page more. I'm not doing as much posting as I should be, so I'm going to do that as my part in getting people to come in more. But I'd love to have some of this positive vibe all week long. It's not just for Sundays. Let's share it every day, peeps.
Yes,
Keep it going.
Please share this out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I will be posting it on the YouTube channel. It will stay up on Facebook and the WTHC YouTube channel in the meantime. So they're there if you want to revisit a part of it, if you want to rehear one of Thomas's definitions. So you can, clarify it in your head, go ahead and go through. I am going to try to cut the video up a little bit so we can hear little snippets of it. Maybe some of those definition things. That's what I'll do. Thomas, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'll try to cut that so you know exactly, what we were going for, and just make them like a 2-minute segment that I share. So that's my intention. I'm saying that's my intention very honestly, because I know the human I am. I will try to do it, and some of it might happen and some of it might not.
Yeah.
So are you feeling good?
I'm feeling wonderful.
Me too.
Thank everyone for coming. I want to thank Barbara for coming.
Thanks, Barb.
She has a new phone that she hasn't set up yet. Her phone actually overheated, and the reason why she got a new phone is because her battery is like defunct, and her phone kept crapping out because of the battery, and it kept overheating, and it kept literally like sizzling out. So thank you for that. Thank you for using the last little bit of life of your phone for us. I appreciate that.
Yes, Barb, thank you so much. And Susan, I hope you feel better, and I hope that you're joining us next week or the week after really soon. Because she's going to tell us she's inspired students, and she's a teacher. That's actually funny that we spoke about that. She's a teacher in a district that she really inspired some students, and that's how she was brought to us. Somebody said, you got to interview this teacher I have. She is super inspiring. She motivates all the kids. And I was like, all right, have her come on.
Yep.
So we'll have her soon. And thank you, Trey, and all the people Allie, all these people, Carenza,
thank you.
Just, writing in, I guess, the hippie. Thank you, baby. All these people who joined in today. It helps so much when the conversation's flowing. It really makes it enjoyable.
Yeah.
So on that note, WTHC, and the Perfect Positivity Show. Want to see? Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's the show. And good night. And
good night. We're going to end it with some Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, and feel better and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Good night, everyone. All right, we're off the radio that way.
Affirmations are positive statements that help us to challenge and overcome when you're not feeling good. And
have you heard this before?
So repeat after me. Come on, everyone. There is no one better to be than myself.
There is no one.
Good night, Liz. Thank you for popping in.
Today is going to be an amazing day.
I can't hear you. Snoop is too loud.
No, everyone's saying good night. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy, I'll see you in the car. If you're still listening, I'll see you in the car.
We are still. I didn't end the broadcast yet, so.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, it's a private joke between Nancy.
I wanted them to be able to listen. If I end the broadcast, they can't hear Snoop.
My family loves me so much.
My family loves me so much.
A lot of good.
I care about others.
Thank you, Nancy. Love you.
I learned
I'll see you in the car.
Mistakes.
I learned from my mistakes.
Thank you,
We're all
Nancy.
saying-
Cool.
Thank you, guys. Good night, everybody.
Liz and Nancy are sisters, and we were all upstate one weekend, and I drove us somewhere.
Oh, Liz says more Tom, less Snoop. That is wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Nip.
Wow.
Surrounded by love.
She's surrounded by love.
Every problem has an answer.
I love it.
And we were all saying goodnight to people, and
Yeah.
Nancy is such a loving soul. She turned around to me and she was like, "Oh my God, I love you. Good night. I'll see you later." And I was like, "All right, good night. I love you too. I'll see you in the car," because I drove.
It's almost over, Liz, and it's fantastic.
I control my own happiness.
Now we know some new affirmations that we can choose and learn to say. So next time you need a little inspiration to help you have more of a positive day. Affirmations. Affirmations.
Freaking love it so much. All right, everybody, I'm ending the
All right.
broadcast on the live stream. Bye.
Good night. Mwah. Thank you, everyone.